Hey guys, it's Christina here. I wanted to just come and talk to you a little bit about why I'm doing all the gardening that I'm doing. And essentially that reason is because I want to have choice for my family. I want to give my family choice. So of course, with the coronavirus and everything else that has happened around Australia, but also around the world, I'm seeing lots of stuff. And of course, you know, we've got some economic issues that are going to come from all of the money that's being spent. We're having economic issues with people not having jobs and all of those things. But not only that, we also see, well, I have been seeing in the media, you know, situations where somebody has gone into a supermarket without wearing a mask and then been viciously attacked verbally by the people who are in there who are wearing masks. And for me, I think it's totally wrong. I don't think that people should attack people like that, especially when we know the science isn't actually there supporting using masks as a protective mechanism. Anyway, without going too much into that, I want to say watching videos like that and watching stuff like that makes me really determined to try and give my family choice. And for me, I see producing our own food as one of the ways that we get to have choice. You know, if we can produce everything that we need here, and that doesn't mean we get everything, because of course, you know, we can't grow coconuts here, so we can't make our own coconut oil, we can't make our own coconut products, but there are loads and loads of other things that we can make here, and you know, might mean that we choose to eat differently during that time. But it means that we have choice. You know, the more we can get off of relying on supermarkets and stores and those sorts of things, the more freedom I actually have. Now I can choose to go participate in those, but I can also choose not to. And that for me is the biggest aspect of gardening, and why we're doing what we're doing right now is to give our family choice. Along with that, you know, people have said to me, Christina, are you concerned about the food supply? And I'm like, no, well, I think this food supply is totally fine, but it's about whether we're going to be able to afford the food supply. That might be the question, as opposed to whether it's available. Because we've seen time and time again, you know, specific events like the banana crops were wiped out in Queensland for a good 2 years, and banana prices were skyrocketing. So people weren't buying bananas because they were really expensive. And we're hearing from farmers that they're then having to get rid of their product because they've got too much, or they can't sell it because the price that it was set by the supermarkets is too high, and so then people are ordering less and all of that sort of stuff. And so I think for me, the more I can get out of that system as much as possible, the better. And so the whole point of gardening for me is the enjoyment. I'm enjoying seeing things grow. I'm loving seeing little seedlings start to pop their heads up and, you know, start to grow and start to produce. I'm thoroughly enjoying that experience. It's giving me something active to do in regards to the concerns about what is happening in our community, in our society. It's giving me an outlet to put energy into something positive for my family, but it's also me thinking ahead and providing a choice for my family so that we at some point can choose if we need to or not. We may never ever need to eat from our garden, but I want to be able to choose to do so. And what we also get is this beautiful organic food that is coming out of our garden, and you know, we're almost at the point of being able to harvest some of that today. We've just harvested some of our radishes that we're going to add to our salad, so we're starting to get to that point of being able to harvest, you know, reap from what we've been sowing. And of course, you know, it's continuing to grow and continuing to blossom, and the more that does, the more we're going to be able to, you know, get the benefits of all the beautiful organic food that's coming out of our garden. So that's why we're gardening, that's why we're doing the things that we're doing. So without any further ado, let me show you what we're up to. compost. Check out my babies. They're growing. This one's got lots coming out of it. These are broccoli, for those who want to know. They're broccoli. And let's have a look in here. We've got some celery there that's ready to start. Well, it's not quite. I want to give it just a little bit longer before I put it out. Some Brussels sprouts. I reckon that's a beetroot. Silver beet. It's silver beet. Some rhubarb that hasn't quite yet started. I'm not sure what that is. Some of these I didn't label because we were just like, it's raining, let's get this done. And so some celery. Look at the cute little baby thyme. Or is this rosemary? Thyme. Cauliflower's in here. Again, no idea what was in here. But it's all food that we're going to eat, so we'll figure it out later. Purple cabbages, sage, some dill here. Just started some more seedlings today. Purple cabbages. That's thyme. And some more purple cabbages. That one there's a silver beet. No, it's not, it's a beetroot. A beetroot in there. And this one is a beetroot as well. Got some mint, and I've got a cat. It keeps trying to get in here. She needs to get out. And I've got some more seeds started today. So we'll see how they go. My peas are going really well. For those of you who watched previous episodes when we planted them, now put up something for them to grow on. They're going really well. Super excited. We've got some artichokes and stuff in here, some sage, peas, and then this is a mustard cabbage. Looks like, well, it's a mustard like lettuce is what it is, and it looks like something's been eating it. Hopefully it will survive. Time will tell. The broccolis are just starting to take off now, so it's super exciting to see. And I'll show you what we've got here in our pot. So we've potted up the lemon. Check out the leaves. These are lettuces. Check out the leaves on these. We'll be able to start harvesting those soon. Look at this one. That's exciting. These are radishes. They were a little bit neglected. They needed some water, but they're doing good now. Chocolate mint. This tomato we're going to put in the greenhouse and attempt to get, we'll just see what happens. Hopefully it'll winter okay. These are some cauliflowers that I started with you guys. We've picked and harvested some pumpkins. The pumpkin vine was, we had a frost, so we had to pick them. And then the beetroot in here. You can see, they look pretty.
That's something that I can do.
Does she let you pet her?
Hey Elijah, look at these awesome slugs. Look at these awesome slugs. Elijah, check it out. What am I checking out, Dad? Oh, did I just throw it away?
He wants you to look at a slug that he's
There's a big ass slug. It's that big, and it's a leopard slug. You know how I know?
The snails would have loved to eat it.
Because they're the fastest
Go
of the
feed it to
slugs.
the snail.
The snail.
Go feed it to the chickens.
Those are pretty big.
Thanks for that.
You do realise that when you actually make a mistake like that, I immediately picture a big snail that somebody's feeding, like, come here.
Well, it would be like a cow.
Yeah.
The chickens are
that
racing
big.
each other for it.
Instead of
The slug that's that big.
Instead of farming cows, they might farm slugs and snails.
Well, yes. I mean, you could have meat slugs.
Oh my god, this is so disgusting. I've got to show everyone at home. I've just found this little plastic bag in our garden that's got slugs on it.
A leopard slug, a big slug.
And slugs in it, and Ben just farted for those who heard that vibrating sound and felt the earth move. Can't see that quite so well, but there's definitely slugs in here and on here. And there's a heap of slugs. There's a slug family. I've just found a slug family.
Obviously, slugs aren't really bright because they actually gravitated to the plastic.
They clumped together, and there was, the chickens are going to have a ball. Let's go feed the chickens these slugs. We moved the chickens over to this spot today because that's where our next garden bed needs to go, because you can see it gets full sun all day, so I want them to dig it up and make it all nice so we can put our young seedlings in here and give them a full day sun. So hey ladies, Actually, I don't even need to open that to start feeding you the slugs. Okay, they're excited, they're off, they're chasing. There's another one. There's another one. Ah, they got one. Here you go. There's some for all of you. Let's get the ones that are in here out. It's on you. Chicken, move, it's on you. Look, there she is. She's got her slug and she just found another slug. One slug was not enough, she needed two. Hello. Hello, chickie. Don't you love how they talk to each other? It's my favourite. Hello. You're looking for another slug? There's more slugs on the ground there. Look, you just trod on one. Hello. You can't eat my phone. Look at all these tomatoes from the tree. It's not doing so great because we've just had a couple of frosts, but it's doing a fabulous job. And it has been completely mistreated and not looked after.
Survivor All Stars.
It is. So
Edition.
I was just talking to Ben about maybe taking some cuttings and see if we can get the cuttings to grow in the hothouse so that we could maybe keep it, because none of the tomatoes are big enough to harvest seeds from, where we would likely get a good plant from. So maybe if we take some cuttings we might get some good plants that we can keep going until it starts to warm up enough to bring them back outside again. What are you doing? In case you didn't see that, folks, he totally forgot what he was doing. Digging a hole somewhere else.
I was just fixing a hole here.
Oh my goodness. Find me the little hand shovel that I wrote in.
There's a hecking tree in here. Are you serious? I was like, oh, I'll just sort of lightly hoe this out. First thing I get to is a friggin' tree.
Remember what you're yelling about.
Bit of a tree there. Sure, gardening's easy. That's what it says in the books. Oh,
Did you just drop
drop the
you is? Man, go back in the other one.
Oh, look.
Eat a worm.
I don't know what that is. Look.
Eat a worm. No, she's stupid.
It's a lid off a decanter.
Show the camera.
Huh?
Show the camera.
I've got a lid off a decanter. That's
We don't have a decanter, so it's not our lid.
Not our lid. Fancy people have decanters though, so somebody fancy lives here. Oh no, look.
What?
Oh, there's a worm. Come on, mate, you get in there. Get amongst it.
So along with being able to grow our own food and have the choice there, we're also getting to go on this really exciting adventure of actually food preparation. And you know, sort of, it's kind of like digging back into history and seeing what life was like before we did the things that we currently do now. You know, and how food was preserved, but also not how it was just preserved, but also how it was cooked and how it was used to nourish. But along with that, it's getting back to the roots of traditional cooking and foraging, like looking for what is currently around that we're not growing, that we can forage and use and harvest. And of course, there's loads of edible weeds in my area, especially even in my own backyard, there's lots of edible weeds. And this journey that we're going on right now, while we're kind of in this in-betweening stage before we could think about traveling again, is a time to do some other fun stuff and learn some new skills, as well as, you know, embracing what is here right now. And that's going to be, you know, learning to cook the food that we're creating and growing, and learning how to harvest and forage for things that we don't yet produce ourselves, and maybe even some bartering system as well. So there'll be definitely some cooking stuff coming as we start to harvest more from our garden, and I'm showing you what we're doing and how we're going to produce it into some beautiful food. And I remember one of my mentors saying very early on in my journey towards health was that we often think of vegetables as the side dish, that it's just on the plate to kind of fill up the plate. But actually, when we start to honor the harvest and the energy that we've put into growing our food, we can start to make it the star of the show. So I'm going to be showing you some of those star of the show dishes as I make them and create them for my family, and share the recipes with you, so that you can have a go with them at your family. And I'd love to hear from you. If you have any beautiful, delicious recipes that you want to share with us, that would be amazing. I would be happy to try them out. And, you know, in the comments, let me know how your garden is going. So I'm going to say bye for now, and I will catch you next time. Remember to like and subscribe and share with your friends, and we'll continue to produce more stuff. All right, bye for now. Catch you next time.